Hi, friends. I'm Pastor Jack Mantrick, pastor at Central United Methodist Church right here in Waterford, Michigan on Highland Drive. Each week, we provide message notes that accompany our Sunday morning message. You can fill in the blanks. You can write in the margin, whatever is helpful for you. There are those who say, hey, look, I'm not interested in filling those in. I said, you don't have to. Just listen to the message, enjoy and glean what you can from it, interact with it in whatever way you want to. But there are also 5 days of devotional material here to further unpack the scripture and the message. And then we offer these daily devotions on Facebook just to help us dig a little bit deeper into the message and the scripture upon which that message is based. So, friends, I'd like to begin by reading the scripture from this that we had this past Sunday. It's Mark's Gospel, the 4th chapter, verses 35 to 41, and this is when Jesus stills a storm. So let me read this. On that day, when evening had come, he, that is Jesus, said to them, the disciples, let us go across to the other side. And leaving the crowd behind, they took him with them in the boat, just as he was. Other boats were with him. And a great windstorm arose, and the waves beat into the boat so that the boat was already being swamped. But he was in the stern, asleep on the cushion. And they woke him up and said to him, Teacher, do you not care that we are perishing? He woke up and rebuked the wind and said to the sea, Peace, be still. Then the wind ceased, and there was a dead calm. He said to them, Why are you afraid? Have you still no faith? And they were filled with great awe and said to one another, Who is this then, that even the wind obeys him? Well, may God add a blessing to the reading of this brief passage out of Mark's Gospel. So, yesterday I shared with you that the seas, and including the Sea of Galilee, which is really a very, very large lake, but it was situated, the Sea of Galilee is situated with mountains on one side and the ocean a little ways away from it on the other side. And so these, it was just the perfect area for storms to crop up with just the geography of that place just allowed to have these ferocious storms that would come up on Lake Gennesaret, as it's called in Israel, or the Galilean Sea. And so this story, as Mark presents it, would be very understandable to those who would read it. They would say, oh, yes, the storms on the Sea of Galilee, how terrible. And the sea represents chaos, especially when there are storms. But they're also a mysterious place where people believed that evil existed and that there were actually sea monsters that were evil. And so it was a kind of an unknown and represented chaos and evil in that ancient society. So it's just natural that Mark would share this great story of Jesus calming the storm on the Sea of Galilee. So I wanted to ask you, what are your initial reactions and thoughts when you hear this story of Jesus calming the sea? What symbolisms do you recognize from this story? What are the questions that you might ask when you read this story? Why was Jesus asleep when there was a storm happening? Why did he want to go to the other side? The classic story of why did the chicken cross the road? Well, why did Jesus and his disciples cross the sea? But lots of different observations that you can make in this story, even as brief as it is. So what are those observations? What are the questions? What are your initial reactions to this story? This passage ends with the question, who then is this that even the wind and the sea obey him? How would you answer that question? If you experienced your teacher your rabbi, your representative of God in your life, who's teaching you about life itself and the nature of our loving Creator God. And you saw that person calm the storm, the wind and the waves. What questions would you ask? How would you answer that question? Who then is this that even the sea and the wind obey? So how would you answer that question? And what does this story tell us about Jesus? What does it tell us about God? What does it say about the disciples who were fearful and apparently, in Jesus' estimation, lacked faith? I want you to kind of play with the symbolism of this story for today. Understanding that the underpinnings of this, which I talked about on Monday's devotion and a little bit even yesterday, that the sea represents evil and chaos. And Jesus is kind of continuing, even from that creation story where God created order out of chaos, Jesus creates order out of the storm. There's a very good clue for you there. So play with this, with the imagery of this Bible passage, and I hope you'll be blessed in thinking through some of these questions that I've posed to you today. Let's pray. Gracious God, we ask that your peace be with us. We ask that you calm the storms in our lives, and we ask for a great understanding of how you work in the world and how you are always with us. We ask for this in the name of Christ our Lord and through the power of your Holy Spirit. Amen. Have a great Wednesday, friends, and God bless.